Everyone in the room stood when the CEO entered. Everyone, except her. She sat perfectly still in a sleek black wheelchair, hands folded, eyes sharp, face calm, but pale. The kind of calm that comes after too many bad conversations with doctors. They called her Elena Cross. At just 42, she ran a multi-billion-dollar company. She was feared in boardrooms, admired on magazine covers, and whispered about in hospital corridors. Because the truth was terrifying. Elena Cross had been given 3 months to live. The illness had attacked her spine without warning. Within weeks, she lost the ability to walk. Within months, the doctors said her organs would begin to fail. Treatments had failed. Specialists had gone silent. This board meeting wasn't about profits. It was about preparing the company for life after her. As executives debated succession, a man stood quietly near the back of the room, out of place in his worn jacket and scuffed shoes. His name was Daniel Reed, a single father, a night shift warehouse worker, and today, a last-minute replacement driver for the CEO's transport service. He wasn't supposed to be here, but when Elena's wheelchair malfunctioned earlier that morning, and everyone panicked, Daniel was the only one who didn't. He knelt, fixed the loose wiring with steady hands, and met her eyes. Not with pity, not with fear, but with certainty. "Your chair doesn't need replacing," he said softly. "It needs understanding." Elena hadn't heard words like that in months. Now, as she listened to lawyers discuss her legacy like she was already gone, she felt his presence behind her. And for the first time since her diagnosis, she wondered if this stranger knew something the doctors didn't. Because Daniel Reed wasn't here for a paycheck. He was here because walking away wasn't an option. The room fell silent when Elena lifted her hand. "I want everyone out," she said calmly. "All except him." 20 heads turned at once. Daniel froze. "Me? Yes," Elena replied, her eyes never leaving him. The board members exchanged confused glances. One of them leaned forward. "With respect, Elena, this meeting is confidential." She didn't even look at him. "So is my life." Chairs scraped. Papers snapped shut. One by one, the room emptied until only the CEO in the wheelchair and the single dad by the door remained. Daniel cleared his throat. "Ma'am, I think there's been a mistake. I'm just the driver." Elena studied him closely. "No," she said. "You're the only person in this building who treated me like I wasn't already dead." Daniel didn't respond. She turned her wheelchair slightly to face him. "How did you know how to fix it?" He hesitated, then answered honestly. "My son uses one. Different model. Same problems." That single sentence changed the air in the room. Elena's voice softened. "Then you know what it feels like to be trapped." "Yes," Daniel said quietly. "And I know what it feels like when people stop seeing you." Elena looked away, toward the glass wall overlooking the city she had built. "They've given me 3 months," she said. "Maybe less." Daniel felt his chest tighten. "I'm sorry." "Don't be," she replied. "Be useful." She pressed a button on her desk. A private screen lit up, displaying medical reports, diagrams, and unread messages from specialists around the world. "I need someone I can trust," she continued. "Someone who isn't afraid of failing, because they already know what survival costs." Daniel swallowed. "What are you asking me to do?" Elena met his eyes again. "Help me walk again," she said. "Or help me prove the doctors are wrong." The city lights flickered behind her. And Daniel realized something terrifying. This wasn't a request. It was a challenge. Daniel didn't answer right away. He looked at the medical scans glowing on the screen. Fractured nerves, failed therapies, timelines marked in red. 3 months. Maybe less. I'm not a doctor, he finally said. Elena gave a small smile. Neither were the ones who gave up on me. She dismissed the files and rolled closer. Tell me what you did for your son. Daniel hesitated, then spoke. I broke the rules. Her eyebrow lifted. My son's doctors said he'd never move his legs again. So I stopped waiting for permission. He described night exercises no therapist approved, routines built from trial, pain, and patience. Progress was slow, painful, but he felt something again. Elena's fingers tightened on the armrest. Did it work? Daniel nodded once. He stood last month. For 8 seconds. The room went quiet. 8 seconds. To Elena, it sounded like a lifetime. You want me to trust you with my body, she said slowly. With my last 3 months. Daniel met her gaze. No, I want you to trust yourself. She laughed bitterly. That's expensive advice. Then don't pay me, he said. Fire me the moment you think I'm wrong. Elena turned toward the window, the city lights blurring as tears threatened, but didn't fall. No one has ever spoken to me like this. Because no one had to, Daniel replied. The next morning, Elena didn't arrive at the office. Instead, her wheelchair rolled into a quiet, empty rehab room. Far from cameras, far from shareholders. Daniel closed the door behind them. This will hurt, he said. Elena exhaled. Everything already does. He locked the brakes, positioned her feet, and placed her hands where they didn't belong anymore. Stand, he said. Her legs trembled violently. Pain exploded through her spine. And then, her toe moved. Elena gasped. Daniel's voice dropped to a whisper. Again. And for the first time since the accident, her body listened. The progress didn't stay secret for long. By the end of the second week, Elena could move 2 toes. By the third, her ankles responded barely, but enough to feel hope. Hope was dangerous, because hope attracts attention. The door slammed open during one of their sessions. Stop this now, Dr. Harlan stood frozen in the doorway, face pale with shock and fury. 2 security officers followed behind him. Elena was mid-stand, legs shaking, sweat pouring down her face. Daniel held her firmly, refusing to let her fall. You're damaging her spine, the doctor snapped. This is reckless, unapproved, insane. Elena gasped, trying to stay upright. Don't touch him. But it was too late. Security pulled Daniel back. Elena collapsed into the wheelchair, crying out as pain shot through her legs like fire. Dr. Harlan turned to her, voice cold. You have 3 months left, and you're wasting them on a fantasy. Daniel stepped forward. She's responding. The doctor slammed the medical report onto the table. She's dying. The words hung in the air like a verdict. That afternoon, the board met in emergency session. Daniel was escorted out of the building. His access badge was deactivated. His name erased from the system. Elena watched it all from her office. Silent, furious, powerless. That night, Daniel sat on the edge of his son's bed, staring at his hands. I failed, he whispered. His son shook his head. You always say, falling isn't failing. Daniel closed his eyes. The next morning, Elena collapsed. Her body shut down. Fever, spasms, internal bleeding. Doctors rushed in. Machines beeped wildly. Prepare the family, someone said. Elena drifted in and out of consciousness. And in that darkness, she remembered one thing, her toe moving. Not a dream, not a miracle. Proof. With the last strength she had, she pressed the emergency call button and whispered a single name. Daniel. Because if she was going to die, she would die fighting.